Hey guys, this is Jeff Hansen with Alta Labs, and I'm going to go through the setup process of installing the Alta Labs control. And we're going to start off with an Ubuntu Jammy pristine system, brand new install. We realize obviously there's a lot of distributions and things out there, a lot of options that you can choose from. We're just going to focus on what we think most people are going to use, at least to start with. So yeah, this is a brand new Ubuntu Jammy system. You can see here. I'm going to go through the instructions that you should have received with your email. There's a PDF that came with the email, and just follow through that. So we're going to start with downloading the controller first. Now this link here, you'll want to make sure that you're downloading the latest version. You can use curl or wget or whatever you'd like to. But I'm going to change that to 1.0b because that is the latest version as of right now. So we download the controller. What we typically recommend is putting the container interface right on the LAN. So this works really well with wired interfaces. So we're going to recommend in general using a PC or a computer that has a wired interface. And that way you can bridge it straight to the Ethernet, the rest of the network. You'll find that if you try to use a wireless interface, it may or may not work. So we're going to focus on a wired interface. You'll want to figure out what that interface is named, and you can do that by running the IPA command. You can see here, this is the IP address of my computer on the LAN here, and it's Ethernet interface name is ENP2SO. So you'll want to remember those two things. And then the instructions say to grab this MAC address here. So what we're going to do is bridge this Ethernet interface. We're going to create a new host bridge so that LXC can then go in and use that interface, that new host interface that we create, and bridge everything, all the traffic to that. So I've copied and pasted that MAC address here. We're going to go ahead and the latest Ubuntu Jammy uses Netplan to set up the network. So go ahead and edit the Netplan configuration. We'll want to disable DHCP on the main network interface because we're going to enable it on the host bridge interface instead. So we're going to type in match MAC address, then copy and paste that MAC address that we had before. We've already turned off DHCP in this interface. Then we're going to create a bridge. I'm going to name it bridge 0, which is a pretty common name for the first bridge on a Linux PC. We are going to enable DHCP4 on this interface, and the MAC address needs to match. If it does not match, you will get a different IP address when it reaches out for the DHCP lease. So I want to keep it the same IP address, so I'm going to use the same MAC address for my Ethernet interface as for my bridge. And then you need to define what your interfaces are as part of this bridge. We're going to use the same name as what we have up here, so EMP2SO. And then we're going to set up some standard bridge parameters, so for delay 0, and turn off STP. And save that. So Netplan has a nice feature where you can test your configuration before you actually run it. I don't see any errors there, so I'm going to go ahead and apply. At this point, if you did something wrong, your interface may go, your PC may go offline. So we're going to find out whether or not I did it right. It looks like I did everything right here. You can see now that the EMP2SO interface does not have an IP address anymore. Instead, our BR0 interface has an IP address. So as long as everything looks good there, we are good to continue. The next step is to set up LXD. So since this is a brand new installation, we're going to need to run the LXD init. The instructions assume that you already had run this before, but as part of the video, I'm going to go through a pristine install. So we're going to want to go with mostly defaults. I do want to create a new storage pool. I usually use dir just because it has the least overhead. I am not going to create a new bridge because I already created a host bridge for us to use. So I'm going to tell it yes, and I'm going to tell it to use BR0 as my default network interface for containers. And with that, we should be good to go with LXC. And we can skip step C here because this LXD init actually created that for us. Next thing we want to do is, I already downloaded the container, so I'm going to import that image into LXC. And I'm going to give it an alias of control. I like to name it just because it's easier to refer to than like a hash or something else. And then we're going to go ahead and launch the controller. And we're going to refer to that BR0 that we created before. So this is going to go ahead and extract the container into the storage pool and then start the container for us. So it's now running. Then we can run bash to get the IP address of the container. We can see that it is this right here. So I'm going to go to my browser now. I know the container is running at that IP address. So you just type it in. Oh. Now the code, you'll get this in your email. You just want to type in the same code as what you received in your email. The email that you put in here, at some point it will be like an administrator email address. It will be kind of the super user for this controller, so you want to make sure it's one that you have access to now and indefinitely. So we're going to click on the activate button here. Now you should receive an email from our cloud that allows you to activate this controller. So I got the email. I'm going to leave this open because I'm going to open up the link in a different tab here. And now the device has been activated. So this should keep checking to see if the DIN DNS has been set up. At some point soon, all that will be set up, and then it will automatically redirect to our brand new controller. So it usually takes a few moments, but eventually it should redirect, and then we can create an account and use the controller just like the cloud controller. Okay, there, we automatically redirected. This is our new local controller running in our container. So I'm going to go ahead and sign up for an account. Type your name in here, put your email address in. So you'll want to check your email here. I'm going to copy and paste that link. Now we're ready to sign in. And here we are. Now I have a device that's running on 2.0G or higher, ready to set up here. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit setup. And it should automatically connect. Then you can go ahead and update it if you'd like, and use the controller just like normal. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions or issues doing this, please join our forum, forum.alta.inc, and you can join the beta forum there and ask any questions to get help from our community. Thank you.